Oh yes, right, and welcoming back a long-time programmer who's been out of the game for a little while, but everyone knows him. He's the greatest guy in the world. Oh, we love you, Pete. He's the greatest. He's amazing. Welcoming to the stage, Peter. Oh, yeah, there's lots of cheering and stuff. Just imagine loads of cheering. Oh, hello there. Whoa. Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, you didn't need to do that send off. That was too kind. Oh, fantastic. Anyway, right, let's rock. Okay, I realise it's actually been quite a while since I've streamed, but we're going to have an awesome stream today. This is going to be awesome because I worked out, because the main problem is I've got big things that I need to do next. So I have spent quite a long period of time working out exactly how I'm going to tackle it, and so I thought to ease myself back into it, we're going to have some nice easy things to do today. This is going to be awesome. So now the title, did I actually update it? It might still be saying episode 40. Anyway, this is episode 41. Time to make a water effect that would look really good in 1995. So I want you to imagine that you're playing a computer game in 1995 and then you see a water effect and you're like, oh my god, that's the most amazing water effect I've ever seen. Right? That's how good I'm going for. Right? But if you're, some like in 2005 or 2010 and you saw a water effect, you'd be like, okay, this clearly looks dated, but don't worry, we're going for it would look good in 1995. We're going to do other stuff as well, but I'll explain what we're going to do. So what we have here is just a plain image, right? So whenever we're playing, in fact, let me do a little sort of just get myself back into the swing of how I actually remind myself of what the game that I'm making. It's just playing at the moment. But we've got a static image, and what I want to do is I've got actually about four water images that look similar to this, and we want to kind of blend one into the other. I'm making it sound more complicated than it actually is. All we're actually looking to do is we're going to have one water image, right? And then in front of that, another one is going to kind of fade in, right? And as soon as it's faded perfectly in, so the alpha is up to 1, it then clicks to being the behind picture, and then the other one, anyway, it'll make more sense when I'm actually doing it, but it's going to look great. I just want to quickly check. I don't need to check this one. I always like to just check that this works. Hold on. Haven't actually done this. Oh, I don't have the mana, but this will enable me to get some mana. There we are. A Bombination, yeah. Cool. And then that does damage. Fantastic. There was a brief moment where I thought, have I just created a soft lock? But no, we're fine. Everything's good. Right, so water effects. So what are we going to do? First of all, I want to get hold of these water effects. Brilliant. And what we're going to do, let's see, background. Okay, so we're in background. I want to have a separate folder within background that we're going to call water, and I'm going to have BG to remind myself that it's background. And hopefully this will look really good. I have no idea if it is, but we're going to have some tweaking, and I think, like I say, if you're around in 1995 and you're going to see these water effects that I'm going to make, you will be absolutely in awe. You'll be thinking, this is the most amazing water effects I've ever seen, in 1995. Why have I chosen that year? I don't know. Right. Why did I? So I've created all of these, and we've got water BG. This will be significant for later. So now what we're going to do? We're going to create a. We've got background water, right? So I'm highlighting this bad boy, and we're going to create a script, right? And I think we make a whole new folder. Even though there might only ever be one one script that goes in here. We're going to have background scripts. Now, one thing, I'm going to be using the word background quite a lot, and I'm going to have to remind myself that background is all one word, and I don't need a capital G for the word ground. there's going to be a good chance I'm going to mess that up multiple times. But anyway, right, we're going to create a C# script. I'm going to have water background script. Okay, and so background water, that's fine. So I've got this highlighted. I'm going to drag this bad boy in. I wonder why this has happened. Have I already created another script called water background script? Actually, no. I think that just needed to load in. It might work now. Let's first of all, yeah, we've got it there. Everything should be fine. Relax, okay. Okay, good. The world can carry on spinning on its axis. Everything's fine. So we have got this. I'm just going to go edit this script. And what are we looking to do? So for this to work, we need to have a private sprite renderer, which we're going to have. I'm going to call it back SR, and we're going to have another private sprite renderer, which is going to be called front SR. I know, original sounding. We're also going to have private. We're going to have a bunch of sprites, which, yes, I'm going to make an array of sprites, which we're going to call water. I want to call it water sprites, but then people are going to be thinking of some sort of mythical thing that, like, oh, it's one of those water sprites that no, I just mean literally just sprites of water. It is not quite as exciting as what I'm making up. Anyway, void awake. We want to. So what we're actually going to do at the moment, we have a game object that is the sprite. We're going to create an empty and put two sprites on it, but I'll do that in just a sec. But for us to do that, we're going to have back SR equals get component in children. Let's go say get components in children. Sprite renderer 0. Don't worry, this will make sense. I think. So what have we just done over here? Does any of this mean anything? So what we're actually looking to do is we're essentially assigning. So just because I'm a little bit rusty, it's been a little while, I'm going to make this public. And I will, with the intention of turning it into private, and probably forget. But these are all going to be public, and I think I need to have write down a reminder somewhere to be like, oh yes, no, we're going to put it back into private afterwards. But this will just essentially clear things up, right? So we're using this get components in children, right? This is going to be finding whatever this script is attached to. It's going to be looking in this game object. It's going to be trying to find our sprite renderers, and like normally I'd have the confidence to just be like, yeah, that'll get them, but we're going to make it public just so we're just going to make sure that we're getting hold of it. Right, we're going to do another thing. Right, we're going to have water sprites equals resources dot load all sprites. And this is one thing which is always like this whole using resources.load all. No, I think, yeah, no, that's fine. And that is the correct syntax. It's something that still frustrates me, because there's so many programmers that just completely understand this whole resources thing. And I'm like, no, this is actually quite complicated. If you don't know, if you've never used this before, it's quite a complicated thing to actually learn. But I'm looking to, it's like, if ever you need me to teach you from a sort of outsider's perspective, who's never used like resources.load, it's quite simple once you know what you're doing. But there's a few sort of flat rules that you need to sort of understand. Anyway, essentially we're getting the path and then copying it into here. So once we have got this up and running, we should be able to get access to our sprite renderer at the back, at the front, and all the water sprites. And I'm going to save that now, Control S, and you know what, let's go close all but this, just to clear up a bit of the space at the top, because I had loads of other scripts open, and I don't really know why. Can't remember what they were for. I've still got a bunch of debug messages. Rocking 3, no idea what that means, can't remember. Anyway, so I'm going to do something a little bit sneaky. Right, first of all, I'm going to press Control D, which duplicates it, and I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to rename this to back in capitals, and this one here into as front. Okay, now I've got to remember what the order in layer is. Okay, so it turns out it looks like the island is -4, but the water is -5. So I'm actually going to have, first of all, I'm going to go create an empty game object, and we're going to call this background water, and then geo game object. And we're going to attach him, and everything's all good. Now, this is the important part. Where we've got the order in layer, I'm going to have back as -6. So it is quite hard to explain, but as far as drawing goes, it will always draw the back first and then the front on top of it. So front should always be in front of back. And me changing that to -6 means hopefully it should do that. But right, so now that we've got all this attached, one, I made a slight mistake. We're going to just remove this component, and we're going to remove this component because I actually mean to put it on the whole, like this is like the daddy which is holding both of these sprite renderers. So now there's going to be lots of stuff happening elsewhere in the game, but all we're focusing on at this precise moment is we want to make sure when we start the game that it gets hold of both of these sprite renderers, or it might give us an error message, but let's go find out. And then I'm going to make a really cool coroutine, which is like my favourite thing in the world. So everything has fallen into place. Right, everything's awesome. So, like, I know that sounds like I'm bragging. No, trust me, everything's awesome. Don't worry. So we have now made sure that the back SR. Let's see if I can get up here. This sprite render that we call back SR has now been assigned to the back sprite renderer. Front has been assigned to the sprite renderer, and we have got hold of all of these water. Let's have a look. My head's in the way, but we've got all 4 of these water images. So where are we going next? Right, so we can stop now. We just wanted to make sure we've got hold of this. Now we're going to do the coolest coroutine in the world. It's not that cool. You know what? Now that works, let me be like super sensible here, and we're going to make these private again, because they don't actually need to do that. We are going to have a public bool, which I will call busy. No, actually, no, I won't. I'll call it animating. Okay. Right. And we're going to have a private eye enumerator. Let's just get our hands dirty straight away. We're going to do this awesome eye enumerator, which is going to hopefully animate the whole water and make it look really good for 1995. Okay, what are we going to call it? We're going to call it water animation routine, I guess. And I want to have animating equals true while animating yield return null. Okay, so we don't actually we don't need this, but I think for psychologically, so I'm also going to have a public void start water animation. Oh yeah, of course. I want to get into the habit of doing delegates, which no, I'm going to use this one. I might change it into a delegate. So a delegate is something that I learned last episode, where instead of me opening up curly brackets, so my original plan is go water start all of that. Right, and what this means at the moment, we're like, okay, let's do this function, and within here we're going to start this coroutine, and that's all we're doing. But if you have something called a delegate, you like when you only have one thing to do in a function, you can change it to look like this. I say this as though I'm the master at this. It's just something which I learned like last episode. That's the wrong button. Yeah, where you just have an equal sign and a greater than symbol, which kind of looks a bit like an arrow, and I almost see it as like water animation. Ooh, let's point to what we're actually doing. We're starting this because it's just one quick line. Anyway, brilliant. I'm happy with that. Okay. I also literally there's no reason that I need to do this, but I want to do this anyway. We're going to have a bool that's called busy, and we're going to start here saying busy equals true, busy equals false. We don't need it, I just really like having it there. Okay, so we're going to have a float time equals 0, and now first of all, what we actually want to do before we start actually animating anything, we want to set a few ground rules. I don't know why I'm using the expression ground rules, but here we go. So back sr dot sprite equals water sprites 0. So that's like the first one, and we're going to have front sr dot sprite equals water sprites 1. So the back one is set as the first one in the slide, and is the first slide, and the front one is number 1. And what we're going to do is we're going to set front sr dot color. I can't do alpha, can I? No, that was a bit. Color equals new color 1, 1, 1, 0.0f. I think that's fine. Let me actually. So this is like the red, green and blue that we're setting, and if we set them all to 1, then effectively it just means it's going to look normal. It's not going to look as though any particular colour warped. It is literally just coming up as white, like traditional white. I did need to do that for a good reason. So what we've done so far is we have set the front SR. Well, we've set the images correct, and we sent the front like sprite renderer to have a 0 alpha. So it will start as though when you're actually on the screen, it will look as sprite number 1. Anyway, where are we up to now? So I think, yeah, we're going to set another int, which we're going to call, I could call it either ticker or counter, but I'm going to make the executive decision to call it counter equals 0. Right, so here we go. So first of all, let me go time plus equals time dot delta time. Okay, which is fine. We can do that. Okay. If time is greater or equal to 1.0f, then time equals 0.0f. This will make sense eventually. Counter plus plus. I'm kind of making this up as we go along, but it will make sense. I want to make sure that it cycles through all the slides in the array. So counter plus plus, and this counter will eventually be saying what number in the array are we using. So first of all, we actually want back sr dot sprite to equal front sr dot sprite. So that's basically saying the back one to look like the front one, and then the front one is going to be so now we're having counter plus plus, and so it's quite cool. I'm not sure if the music's a bit too distracting. I think it's alright. Let me turn it down just a tiny bit. Right. Becoming an old man. No. What? So I'm playing it on a particular thing, and you just kind of assume there would be a volume bar somewhere, but no, I will have to change the volume somewhere over here. But I think it's fine at the moment. Or is... yeah. No, it's right. There is still music playing. It's just at a quiet bit. Okay, sorry. Right. Miles away. So, the back sprite is equal to the front sprite. We're making counter plus plus. Now, we also want to have if counter is greater or equal to water sprites dot length. Counter equals 0. Okay, and now we want to have front sr dot sprite equals water sprites counter. Okay, this is almost it. We just haven't changed any of the alpha at any point. So this looks actually pretty good. So the only thing that we have left to do is have front sr dot color equals that. In fact, I'm also going to have minus equals. I think that'll just look a little bit better, hopefully. Um, that needs to be time. And then, if this works, I'll break down everything that I've just done. But this actually isn't quite as complicated. This is more like, I would say it's like kind of building a little Lego like project. And it's just, I've just put maybe a couple of steps that I've just missed in, and anyway. But once, I want to just check this is working, and then I want to kind of come back and see what else I can do. Okay. Right. Oh yeah. So I just need to wait for it to compile and load and everything. Right. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get an awful lot of sleep last night, so I'm a little bit sleepy. But I've got some coffee on standby. Okay. I've done the classic. It's one thing that I do very often. What we actually need to do, we've done nothing that has actually started this. So I was just kind of being like, well, if you make a function, it'll just happen. But we do need to actually call this function. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go void start, and we're just going to have start water animation. I was looking at that for a while thinking, this is a very subtle water animation. It's almost as if nothing's happening at all. Anyway, we're calling this, well, upon start, all of this happens. We're calling this, which is going to do this function here, start this coroutine, and then start all of this in place. One thing that we do need to do is have counter, I think, equal to 1. Yeah, I think that should be fine. Okay, right, let's go. It didn't work because I just completely forgot to actually call the function. Go actually have this full screen. Right. Okay. Right, now I need to actually look at the screen. See, when you look at it, it kind of looks alright, It is quite hard to see, but what I can do, I can actually isolate. In fact, what I've got is now that, yes, like it's more kind of like we can actually look at it. It actually, believe it or not, is doing the thing that I want it to do, and it is quite subtle. But there's quite a lot else going on the screen that it's quite hard to actually see. So what I can do, resources, prefabs. We're going to have another one here. We're going to create a folder. That is going to be background stuff, and we are going to put this bad boy in it, and I kind of want to go in scenes. I think I've got a test scene. Oh yeah, we do want to save, that's fine, but we can go into a test scene. I don't think there's much going on at the moment. Oh yeah, I'm testing other stuff, but hopefully that won't interrupt. I was testing other stuff, but this is basically just, I've got this test scene to put something in to see what it looks like, and we can actually have a bit of fun trying to, make it look nice. So if I just press play now, so yeah, if you actually look, the water is a little bit like swayy, and I think hopefully, yeah, it's like, trust me, there is movement occurring. It's like if you've got a low resolution, it's going to look like you're looking at a still image here, but I don't know if anyone, but yeah, it's like I actually do quite like the look of that. Now I can speed it up. At the moment, I kind of quite like that. I think that looks swayy enough. It's not too distracting from anything else. I think it's a pretty decent water effect. I like it. I'm going to stick with that. I quite like it. Okay, right. So water effect. Bam. That was, admittedly, that was kind of like the slightly easier part of what we're looking to do today. So next up, number two. Number two, I'm going to explain once I've actually grabbed a coffee. I've got two fun coffees to go for. Right, we're going to go for something where I don't know there's any way of actually saying this without sounding American, but it's called a Frappuccino. Mocha Delight. Where am I going in my life? Oh, dear me, this is awful. Right, I mean, it looks very tasty, I'm sure, but I do feel a little bit of a sellout when... Anyway, when I use the word Frappuccino, it's like I feel like I lose a small segment of my soul in saying that. Anyway, right, this works. It's got coffee, but it's cold. That's enough. That's all I really needed to say. Okay, right. So, materials. That's the wrong thing. Going back into scenes, main game. Yeah, may as well say it. Doesn't matter. Okay. Right. So what am I looking to do now? This one. Yeah. Okay. This one will take maybe a little bit longer, but what. I've got a couple of things. So number one, and this is the important thing, I want to make it so that when the blob attacks, there is actually an animation for the blob going and then kind of eating. So let me work on that. How are we going to do that though? So first of all, we need to get hold of the sprites to actually be able to do that. So they should be somewhere in here. Monsters. I think I might have saved it here. Let's find out. We can get rid of that one and that one. I think it is. Is that... Yeah. So this is the little bite animation. It's not anything particularly amazing. But... yeah, that's what we're stuck with. No, I think it's alright, isn't it? PNG. Yeah, we're just going to save it as PNG. Oh, hold on. Whoa. I made a big mistake here. I need to put zeros at the end here. 0 there. There we go. And then now we can save as a PNG. Yes, it's fine. Yeah. Agree, everything's fine. Okay, so I'm going to press the wrong button. There we are. Right, so over here we're selecting all of these. These are sort of the bite ones, and we need to find a home. We need to work out where we're actually putting them. So monsters. I'm looking in the wrong place. Sprites. Monster. Main. Oh yeah, that's fine. So what I'm going to do now, this will cause us a small problem. So what I want to do is have now I've got to work out the best way of doing this. Because what we kind of want to do is have you know what? I think I just do it. I create a bunch of error messages, then I fix it. I think that's the way forward. So I'm going to create a folder here, which is going to be called idle, and another folder, create folder, which we're going to call action. Hopefully, all of the enemies that we make will only, like, for the time being, they're just going to have idle and action. And I know you're thinking, what about when they're walking, like, from one place to another? Trust me, if ever you're trying to do any walk animations ever, like, you'll lose sleep. They're not easy things to do. They are really, like, I mean, yeah, even for a blob, it's going to be quite hard. Right, so we've got hold of all of these. We're going to drag this into... into action, and so I would just want to check. So this is 1 to 8. We're just going to set all of these to 1 to 8 as well. 1 to 8. Point filter and none, and apply. Cool. Now, the reason that I'm slightly reluctant to do this and just drag them into there, because it makes a lot of sense to do that, is it's because, and I will do this, it's because I'm pretty sure at some point we actually need to call upon these sprites. But let's find out. Let's see how I've dealt with this. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. I think we actually don't need to. I mean, yeah, it's not going to be as much of a problem as I thought. So, what we have got here, though, so I have got one of these scriptable objects, which are brilliant, right? I love scriptable objects, absolutely love them. And at the moment, what I've got is monster mini sprites and monster main sprites. We're going to spice things up slightly. I want to rename this to monster mini idle sprites. Monster main idle sprites. Okay, that's cool. And we're going to, so I now have renamed those, so it shouldn't actually affect too much. I always make a point of renaming when I can, and these ones here are going to be action. There we go. Sweet. And I'm going to just move things around just a little bit, so there we are. Right, okay, we can save that. Okay, so now we just need to drag all the right things in the right place. It occurs to me now, and I think I should do, is we have obviously got a different set of sprites for Mini and the main one. I don't even know if that's a good idea. I don't even know why. Because I don't need to do it that way. I think, no, I'll stick with it. It just means I need to make more sprites, but that will take me barely any time at all. I'm just trying to be lazy, and I really shouldn't be. I should. Right, wicked. So main, that's fine. Okay, right. So, I think I do. I think I will just quickly do that now. So we're going to create a folder, which we're going to call. Oh, I've put it in. No, I have put it in the right place. That's fine. Idle and another folder, which is going to be action. Is that what I called them? Yeah, action and idle. That's fine. So all of these are going to go into idle, and we actually need to create we need to create the mini versions of them, and I can't remember where I put it. Did I put it in here? No. I have no idea. Let me actually just check something. Okay, good. Alright, I thought I had slightly lost the plot there, because I thought for a brief moment they were literally exactly the same images, but they're not. Somewhere, I just got to work out where I've actually stored these. Actually, no, I can do it all from here. So, at the moment, all I need to do is shrink down what I've currently got from 512 down to 128. This just kind of remind myself, basically. So, if I just go, first of all, I'm going to go press Ctrl-Shift-S, save it as an AcidPrite folder. Blob 3 mini, that's fine, and then Control Shift, no, now we're going to have sprite size 128, so we're just getting the smaller version, and I just want to check that looks okay, doesn't it? Yep, brilliant. Okay, saving that, and then we're going to save the PNGs, and I'm going to do my classic putting 3 zeros here for good reasons. Trust me. Why have I put 3 zeros on the file name? It's purely so that the numbers, it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. As soon as it gets to 10, it will still carry on. Whereas if I were to put them in here and I didn't use the 3 zeros, it would go 0, 1, 2, 3. No, sorry. It would go something like 0, 1, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then go on to 2, and it gets incredibly confusing. Right, anyway. Where did I store them? So, these are the mini ones here. Um, 64, so I'm setting these ones to 64. To point filter and none and apply. Okay, now we just need to drag these sprites onto our thing, which shouldn't be too hard. So Blobbo, that's a terrible name. I don't know. Whoever came up with that, what an idiot. All right, it was me. Okay, so these are the action sprites. Let's just, yeah, actions. Aha, okay, right. A new trick. I haven't, surprisingly enough, I haven't used this trick for, like, I don't even know if I've done it on this project, and it's quite an important one. So, like, so, I'll explain what I'm doing. I'm clicking here, right? And then on this little panel here, there's a little lock. I'm going to click that. That means I can click on other stuff, right? And this one still remains here. The reason I need to do that is because I need to click on these to then drag them over to here. And it makes it very, very difficult if I don't press this lock button. Now, the problem with pressing the lock button is I quite often forget to unlock it afterwards, and I run into so many problems, and I keep thinking like I'll be clicking on master and being like, oh, that doesn't look right, that is not what that's not what I should be seeing, and I get more and more confused. Anyway, that was quite a boring story, but like, so this lock button is actually very useful for this particular situation. However, just bear in mind, just remember to unlock it afterwards. I will probably forget, even though it'll literally take me 10 seconds. So we got the idle ones. I'm just going to drag those there. We've got our action ones, which I'm going to drag there. We've got our mini action ones, which I'm going to drag onto there, and over there, and there. So, making some progress here. So we've attached all the images over, which is wicked. Right. Now, I want to just check that everything's still working. So we're just going to have a look. I just want to see that the blob is still animating, because there's a good chance it just might simply not work. Let's find out. Okay, looking good. And that's still working. Absolutely fine. Exactly what I was after. Right. Okay, so now, when it's attacking, I'm going to see if I can do a sort of slow motion replay of everything that I'm looking to happen. So you press that. Oh! I meant to press pause. Trust me. I was like, why has everything stopped? What have I done? I meant to press pause there. So, okay. So we're going to press end, turn, and pause. Okay. So here's what I'm looking to happen. So we can press here to just fast forward one. So it bounces all the way down, right? And what I kind of want is, as soon as it kind of, I still want it to shake, but as soon as it lands, before it bounces back, which is what it's doing there, I want to have a quick animation of him going, and then bouncing back. which I think should be alright. Okay. I don't know where any of it's going to be attached. It's okay. I'm ready this time. Unlock here. Okay, the world can carry on spinning. I did. I still went into that panic because I forgot to unlock, even though I explained why I really shouldn't be forgetting to unlock. Anyway, here we go. So main script. Let's go. It's probably in here somewhere, I guess. Now we've got there. Right, we're in here. Okay. So at the moment we're looking to have perform attack animation. I'm trying to remember exactly where we're going with this. Wow. When you haven't looked at code that you've done for a while, I'm like, what is going on here? I think... Oh, right. So here is where we're just setting what the symbol is. I think... Oh, yeah. So this is just, if we're summoning it, we're setting it to a particular symbol, whereas if we're changing it, we're just, like, swapping the symbols, and so it's a slightly different thing. Okay, all this is just dealing with the symbol. Don't worry about that. That's nothing. Select attack. Potential enemy attack script. Let's go to the definition. See what we're actually doing here. I've got to remember it. Let's go to definition. Wow. My brain is properly pulling a blank here. Apologies for this. What was I doing again? I can't remember. So I believe if we actually have a look at the monster attack class, I So, what are we actually doing here? I can't remember. I think this is generally just setting up all the configurations. So I don't think this is particularly... We don't need to worry about this too much. I'm more just kind of like trying to remind myself of where I was going with all of this. So I think all that I'm essentially doing right now is... looking over how the little thing at the top which says what attack it's going to do next or what action it's going to do next, this is basically just sorting all that out. So I'm actually going into, I don't need to worry about that too much. So we actually just need to do perform attack animation. Let's see what's going on. So this is the attack animation. Now we've got the camera. Yeah. And now this is going to be a lot easier said than done, and I don't really know the best way to do this, because what I kind of want to do is okay, right, came up with a brilliant idea, right, and it's going to be a little bit of effort, but it's going to be way worth it. What I actually want to do is, so at the moment, actually, you know what? Let's do my original plan, and then I'll tell you what I want to do. Once we've done that, then it'll be easy to, on top of that, make it look a little bit better afterwards. Okay, don't worry, I'm getting excited now. Right, okay. So at the moment, he jumps over, lands, and then he bounces back, right? What we want to do here, performing attack equals... So here, we're going to have... int chom equals Aaron dot instance dot play forward once monster trans monster sprite renderer. The animating sprites we're going to have I think it's just monster SO. Monster SO dot main action sprites. Okay. The anim speed, I do want it to be quick, so maybe what I should do is have it say 0.5 and true. So I set something up I've missed a whole thing. Okay, I think that looks a bit better. So what we're actually doing here is we're telling our monster, the sprite render part of our monster, to do all of the monster main action sprites in an animation, have our final thing of the original sprite that it began with, because it kind of bites and then returns back to the original state, right, over 0.5 seconds, right, and this true just determines if this is false, that means it's 0.5 seconds per frame, whereas if this is true, it's 0.5 seconds to do the whole animation. And I do want it to be quick. You know, that's the thing. I do want this game overall, when people are playing it, I don't want them to be annoyed about how long the animations are. You know, I want them to be like, oh, that's a cool little animation. Good, that was quick and, you know, out the way. I want it to be a lot more about the gameplay. So anyway, right. What we need to do now is, now that we've... And I need to... Let me just have a quick look. Go to here. So this is good. So a new thing that I added to this Aaron sprite, this Aaron script, is... So this is basically the thing that enables me to animate all of the sprite renderers, so you can actually have a frame by frame, you know, things to make it look animated. But I just put this little line of code here, this little bit here, which what it does is it cancels the current animation that it's doing. So when it's actually jumping over, it's technically still in the idle animation, which is an animation. So this bit here is cancelling. So then when it actually does the biting animation, it's not going to be conflicting with that, because I have had that problem where it's partially trying to do one animation and it's sort of switching between, and it looks rubbish. Anyway, this cancels it out, and I just wanted to check that line was there. Okay, so now we need to have while Aaron.instance. Chumballs Chom. he's just talking rubbish. No, this makes sense, don't worry. Okay. And so now that's good, and now I want to do this. But don't worry, so this will look good. Hopefully this will already look pretty good. So it's going to slam, and then he's going to do the bite, and it's going to slam again. So we're pretty much there. The only thing that we actually haven't done yet is we haven't continued our animation, our idle animation, after we've done the bite. So at the moment it's going to do the bite and then just remain perfectly still in that position. So we just need to continue that. So let's go find all references. Huh. Oh. I'm looking at slightly old code, I believe. Aha. Okay. So, yeah, this is everything's all fine and all good, but this idle routine that we've got, so I'm going to go to this definition, this is using quite old stuff that doesn't matter too much. What we're actually going to do instead is nick part of it, because ideally we want to get rid of this idle routine. It's not needed anymore, because it's quite archaic. Like, the way which I have dealt with this is I've actually put it in a whole routine, and for you to stop the idle animation you have to make this false and then it'll cancel, and this is just really inefficient. So we can get rid of this. We can actually just change this to, we're going to Control C, go over here, kind of, yeah, I'm going to put it here. But we're using monster sprites. Oh. I mean, I've done a very inefficient way of doing this. I could, yeah, so at the moment I've got this whole variable called monster sprites that I don't need anymore. It was useful back in the day, but now we can just go straight to just doing this. I don't need a semicolon there, and let's just green that out. That's fine. Not sure. I think it's and what we want to do as well is where we've got here, we can do something similar. So we're going to copy that. Let's go bring him in. Go over here. Bring this one in. So we don't need this anymore, and we don't really need that anymore. We can now copy that and have Control C, Control V. So I think this is fine. This is just tidying things up. And I know you're thinking, you're putting loads of green stuff in. How is this getting anything tidier? But trust me, this does look, yeah, this will look a little bit better. Because we can get rid of this green now. I just kind of want to just check that it does work. So what was the other really important thing that we needed to do? So, oh yeah, where were we? What were we doing? Oh yes, the reason I did all of this was purely because I wanted to know what this number here was. So so the actual animation is 0. It's doing essentially, it's switching frame every 0.125 seconds. So that's 8 frames a second. And why do I need to do that? Because Control C, I'm going to copy this. And after it has done the actual action thing, It's going to wait for it. The camera's going to shake, and then we're going to go kaboom, put it back into idle. Okay, so first of all, we want to see if that works. It's still not going to look perfect, but I have a really good, clever idea as to how I want to make it, how I want to make it look. But let's just see how well this goes. I hope it looks good. It might look terrible. Let's have a look. Right, so let's have a look. Okay, all right. The fact that this is still working is good. So we're already kind of up on the deal. And turn. Okay. Right. So we want to see how this works. Okay, let's go. Didn't work at all, did it? All right. I've clearly missed something. I just got to work out. I have saved it. That is the monster main script. I'm sure it's doing all these things. So it's bouncing over, waiting, making the thing. Huh. Because what I obviously wanted it to jump over and then do the bite, and I've got to try and work out why that didn't work. No, this is good. I mean, this is actually, like, even though it sounds as though I'm being sarcastic here, I'm being 100% truthful. This is my favourite part of programming, when it is literally, to me, it's kind of like an optical illusion where I was thinking, everything should work. And then I'll find out why it didn't work, and I'll be like, oh, that was the problem. So, we're going to end turn and then pause. Okay, so let's just see. So he's bouncing over. Oh, there is... Okay, and he's just bouncing back. Okay, that's fine. It's as if this bit isn't being done at all. I have a feeling we're not... find all references. Ah, yes! Boom! That was easy. Okay, like, admittedly, I'm going to have to copy and paste a little bit of this code. It turns out all of this code here is completely redundant and not used anywhere. We've just got to work out when like how he actually does do the attack. So, like, we into somewhere completely different, but that's okay. So what we're going to go into is but that's fine. We have actually got all the code there. It's just in the wrong place. It's not too much of a problem. So what we're going to do is where we've got the combat script, we're just going to look and think so we're going to have, let me just have a Control MO, closing everything. We have we're not worrying about off combat. This is just combat routine. Okay, so what's actually happening? So the ranged attack, all of these rangers do stuff if you have rangers. This is the thing that we're looking for. Monster master script dot perform attack. Here, go to definition. Right, perform attack. If effect main. Yeah, so this is just determining whether it's close up, whether it's actually in range and right next to the base, or if it's at a distance. So now we've got the monster attack script dot perform attack, and this is basically where we're giving all the stuff. So we're going to now go to this definition. And aha, this is the bit. So, oh wow, this is much better. Okay. Sorry, I just need to stretch. I'm too excited, but I need to stretch at the same time. Okay. All right, here we go. So, we have, let's go put this bad boy in over here, and Right, and what we're going to do is where we've got this, because we can clear stuff as well. There's something very therapeutic about clearing stuff. I think it's monster main script. So I'm getting like them either side, and what the main thing that we want to do is this bit of code here, and this, and this. I think it's just this here. Control C, and let's have a look at what's actually going on at this point here. I think we can move him back. Now I've got it held in my Control C. I'm looking at the wrong one. Monster action script perform basic attack. Okay, so I've got it in my Control C. So we're bouncing over. We're waiting for the bounce to arrive. The screen is shaking. Then we're bouncing back. So here. We want to fit all that in here. Oh, yeah, I like this tune. Right. Okay. So, we've got some red squiggly lines. Why have we got that? Because... good reasons. There's good reasons. I think Held Monster parent script. All we actually need to do is... yeah. So, because we're actually calling it from outside, we're calling this monster from outside, we have made a reference to it. So we're essentially saying this is the Held Monster script. So I've got it Control C, Control V dot. Oh yeah, that's fine. This is no problem. These are good, easy red squiggly lines to deal with. Admittedly, I'm running into that trap of having one massive line of code, but this should be fine. Okay. So the reason this is a red squiggly line is because it's... oh, I actually still can do that. Oh, get SR, that's fine. So we can just do get SR. Although, right, yes, we can do that. Okay. And let's just have a quick look. Oh, that's interesting. There's probably a good reason as to why I've done this, but what I kind of want to do is for the monster to go in, do its damage, and then, like, while it's kind of there, it does the damage. I've currently got it that it actually bounces, does the thing, come back, and then the damage is dealt afterwards. That's very easily fixed. Yeah, so I think this is the dry run. I think we have cobbled together all the pieces, so hopefully this should work. And what we can do as well is monster main script. I kind of want to go comment and comment, and then pretend it never existed. Because we don't ever need that. Okay. It's more like I just realised I do still have bits of code, big chunks of code, which are completely obsolete. Right. Okay. I'll turn it, yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if the music's too loud or anything, but yeah, I apologise if it is. Right, okay. Right, let's see how it goes. Oh, that looks actually that looks really good. Oh, I like this. So, bam. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, alright, fantastic. Yes, okay, I like it. So, okay, now, I think this is all okay. I still want to have the damage done right, like just after it crunches. So I just want to have a look at the screen shakes as well. So I'm quite happy that does look pretty good. That was a good. That does look good. I like it. Right. So end turn. So it shakes when he bounces. Yeah, okay, it does only shake twice. I mean, that does look fine. It looks absolutely fine. Like, I think there's... Yeah, I'm gonna... Yeah, that's kind of fine. What I kind of want to do is... And I don't know how risky this is, but I kind of want to have the damage, like, be dealt when he's during the attack animation. I'm going to see if I can just literally just drag... like move the code from one place to another and hope that it works. So let me just get rid of this, buy myself a bit more space. Attack damage equals that. So all of this is the bit where we're dealing with the attack damage, and we can move this here. Okay, so it might not actually make that much of a difference, but the idea is like it's attacking, it's doing it as he's attacking. So let's have a quick check. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? Yeah, I prefer that. Okay, sweet. So, attack animations. Sorted. Now, we've got... oh, yes, of course. Huh. Right, does that still look okay? Yeah. Ah, one very quick thing that I want to do. And it is literally just a matter of moving one line of code slightly further up. There. Okay, this is just making sure it's going back to the idle animation as soon as it's finished. Right, but I don't need to check that. I think that's fine. Okay, brilliant. Right, we've done that. Okay, we're going to do another quite cool thing next. I've done a lot of the hard work towards it. Now we've just got the fun bit left. It's like, yeah. Right, so a quick disclaimer. What I was doing... I wanted to make a new monster, and I realised it needs like an attack animation and an idle animation. And I was thinking, I was trying to come up with ideas, so I went into Google. I was looking at various different monsters I could do, and I sort of like it was literally almost. I think I typed in faux sprites and then monster sprites, whatever, and. There's now, if anyone's ever heard of this old dusty game called Pokemon, there's actually I showed a picture of Nidoking, right, who's a pretty cool looking Pokemon, right, and I was like, oh yeah, I kind of want to make a monster that looks a little bit like that, but I don't want to copy. I'm not just going to be like, oh right, yeah, let's just steal all of the sprites. I'm sure, I'm sure like I'd love to say anyway, the company that made Pokemon won't mind that. Of course they will. But I've made a sort of version which looks a little bit like Nidoking. It's because the idea is I get the sprite and then I kind of like draw roughly around it to give it the shape. But when you sort of compare, you think, it does look quite a bit like Nidoking. But I don't think it's it doesn't look as good as Nidoking. Anyway, right, I'll stop talking about it and actually show you where we're at. But first of all, I need to create space for it. So, sprites. Monsters. So, oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah. So I think I should probably have. Let's see, what is. Huh. Anyway, I'm going to create a new folder that we're going to call. Now, I mean, I feel like this name might have already be used, but Chlorec must be used from something. I mean, that's such a cool name. It must have already been used. But Chlorec, right? So what we're going to do as well, we're going to create a main. I want to basically have a stencil of this. I mean, I was almost tempted to just duplicate this and delete all the sprites in it, but we'd probably better do it properly. Action and idle. So create folder action and create folder idle. And now we can, I think, at least duplicate that and just rename it to mini. Okay. So, right, we've got all this. We're ready. We've got the space to put it. We just need to actually put it in. So, let's go to this one here, and what I really should do as well is I'm going to, within this monsters folder, I'm going to create a folder here. Basically, programming, game development is creating more and more folders. That's all it is. No, there's a bit more to it than that, but Blobbo. I mean, that name has not. That is not a concrete name. If anyone can come up with a better name than Blobbo, like, please feel free. Let me know. But we love that name. Right, we're going to create a new folder. Chlorec. Again, no, it's a great name. It's an absolutely great name. I feel like I've stolen it from somewhere. Now, I can't remember where I have actually saved it. So, Control-Shift-S. Oh, I just saved it there. That's fine. Let's just go into a folder here that's called Chlorec, and we'll save it there. Fantastic. Okay, so I'll give you a quick show you of. I mean, yeah, don't get too excited. It's like, oh yeah, it looks like a really bad Nidoking. So let's have a look. So he's got the idle animation, the slash. Now he only technically needs those, but he's also got if he's looking to do an individual one like side to side, I thought it's really not much effort to do that. And now here's where the magic all lies. So there, I was kind of getting the rough shape of what Nidoking looks like, but I thought I'd just change it a little bit. That's, I thought it's best that I'm honest. It's like, oh yeah, you probably can't recognise the two. I thought, provided I give him a top hat. I mean, like I say, it's a very early sort of idea. But it's just, I just quite like. I was thinking I do want to have that sort of figure, and I was thinking I can use that as a sort of bit of a template. Anyway, right. So now we've got all of this. We need to do a few things. We're going to have Control-Shift-S. We're going to save it. Chlorec 000, and we're going to save it as PNG. Okay. Yes. I think that's fine. Right. Oh, it might take a little while. Nope, didn't take that long. So now we're going to save it as an Asaprite Chlorec Mini, and then sprite size 1 to 8. So it's going to get a little smaller. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's save it as that, and now we're going to save it as PNGs, but Chlorec Mini. That's okay. I don't know why it always decides to. It's fine. Everything's fine. Right. Anyway, so we've got all that saved there. Let's have a look. Right. So now we've got all the stuff that we need. including the constant reminder that it's like, just leave me alone. Stop reminding me that I've just copied. You spent all this time to do a bad version of Nidoking. But it's like I say, I just kind of want to use that idea. I don't know if there's going to be many people who are going to look at that thinking, oh yeah, that's definitely Nidoking. But that is generally how I sometimes get my inspiration for drawing things. I will kind of like look at the basic shape of something and then kind of draw around it. Actually, in fact, that's what I did with the house as well, the main townhouse. Okay, so that's the idle animation, which goes main idle. I think this is going to be the action there. And like I say, I've got like them doing the individual ones, but they're less important. So stop reminding me. It's okay, I know. Right, so now we have our Chlorek, the mini ones. That's the idle. And that's the action over there. Brilliant. Okay, now I think we can get rid of all this altogether. Oh yeah, now one thing that's quite useful, I want to set all of these to 64. Now, obviously, I could just do this, set it to 64, change it, and then do the same. But if I wanted to select all of these, I can actually just click here, hold Shift and click at the bottom, and then it says, it gives you the option. It's like, yeah, I want to select these 34 textures. Now it's doing specifically these 34, so I can set them all in one go. So 64, point filter, and none, and apply. Which is good. Okay, and I believe these ones, again, selecting the 34. These ones were 1, 2, 8. Point filter and none, and apply. Okay, so that's one part done. Now we are going to go into Monster SOs, and for all intents and purposes, I'm just going to press Control. Oh no, actually, no. Well, let's do it the proper way. So I'm going to create a new monster scriptable object, but it's not going to be called Fresh Monster. It's going to be called Chlorek. I just think it's quite. It must have been used somewhere. I probably should Google it and be like, oh yeah, of course it has. Of course it's been used. Right. Monster name is Chlorek. What I probably. Yeah, I should have just duplicated it because I can't remember what all these lights are. Let's just say it's got 100 life. Current life will start at 100. The attack is going to be 25, so it's going to be more powerful. The magic, and let's just say 25. This charge bonus I don't think has much relevance at all. Oh, the gore colour. Right, I think we might have to slightly delve away from it being red, just purely because I want this game to be accessible to anyone, and a lot of people think, if it's actually red, it could look a bit like sort of, blood and stuff, and that's so he's generally a greyish colour. So why don't we go blue? That looks good. Right, that's yeah. Like we might change that. Don't worry. Number of turns before it arrives. Let's say a traditional 3. Monster. Oh yeah, action types. Yeah. So it's going to have just basic attack, and probability weights is going to be 100. Ranged attack. It's going to have just basic forward 1, and that is going to be 100. Obviously, when we actually make more attacks, we're going to work out what monsters want what attacks, but that's fine for the time being. Okay, so now we just need to put in all of these sprites. So we're pressing the lock. I now need to remember to unlock it afterwards. So these are the action sprites for the main. So action main goes over there. Action idle, main idle is there. Oh, it's actually 17 of each. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. Okay. We will run into a problem, and you'll probably see it when we do eventually get around to playing it. Sorry, just knocking everything. Everything's fine. So here's the problem that we've got. I've realised that in fact, let me put all this in, then I'll show you. These are action mini or mini action, and this is mini idle. So I've noticed there's 17 right now. The slight problem that we've got with that is essentially there's only 16 frames. The first and the last are the same. So when we're actually watching the idle animation, it's gonna look a little bit like there's just gonna be a certain point where it's gonna look like it pauses. I just kind of forgot. You know, it's very useful when developing it to actually have that one to just know that it reached the end. But I should just delete all of these. But we'll get to that. Right. So now I think we've got all the numbers set. I just want to turn this to 20. Okay. Right. So now we just need to work out. We need to set the enemy to claw wreck. Oh yes, right. Undo this lock because I will forget. I can't remember where we're actually setting that, but I think. Oh yeah, here we go. I think it is just we just need to change it here, and it might work. Okay. Let's go. Okay, this is a big deal. Like, I genuinely don't know if this is going to work. There's so many things that could go wrong, but if just me changing that deals with everything, I'm really happy. Okay. Yes! Oh, awesome. Oh, quality. And that looks okay. That looks alright, you know. I'm fine with that. Oh, admittedly, his head slightly gets in the way of that. Let's worry about that later. That's a problem for another day. Cool. Yeah, I like that. Alright. Now. Oh yeah, of course. The life bar, that's a whole thing which I'll have to deal with at some point. Now, let's see if the attack works. Yes! And he's going back to the idle. But yeah, you can see at this precise moment that, like, when it gets to about now, there's a little pause. That's because I've got two identical frames. I can fix that very quickly. Yeah, that's no problem. Bam. Okay, but let's have another look at it. I like it. Bam. Yeah. Quality. Okay. All right. This is. I mean, as I say, this. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Oh yeah, I haven't dealt with the game over screen at all. It's just a really bad. Sorry. Oh yeah. I'm just checking. The water effects are actually happening. They look quite. Yeah. I think they look okay because they're definitely they're unassuming, but you can see the water just fading and just yeah. Right. So we just want to get rid of that frame, which will actually. No, it's fine. It's easily done. All I need to do two things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and delete those 4. And then when we go on to claw wreck, we want to turn all of these into. Checking this is going to work. 16. Okay, yes. 16, 16, and 16. Okay, so let's just check it to see if it's still got that pause. It should ideally just get rid of that pause now. But we need to play it safe, just check. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, I like that animation. His face looks rubbish. I'm accepting of that. I was in a bit of a rush when I was doing the face, and I do want him to look a bit more, a bit more sinister. He more looks just like a sort of crook, in a sort of 50s cartoon that's just like a hey, hand me all your money kind of look. Especially the hat is not doing much service. Yeah, so bam. Right, nice. Okay, sweet. Okay, right. So what I was going to do, I'm quite happy with that. What I was going to do was where I've got action. I was actually going to have like two groups of action for each one. So there would be an action start and an action end. And I like the idea that as he's kind of getting to a certain point of the actual animation, that's when the damage is dealt. And then he's recovering, and then he goes back into the idle animation. I don't know how necessary that is, but that won't be too hard. Coding-wise, that won't be too difficult. That's more like food for thought. It's like, if that's going to be bugging me later, then I'll change it. But at the moment, I'm kind of fine with that. Okay, right. So we made some nice progress today so far. We have done the water animation and the attack animations for the enemies. And what I kind of want to do as well, this is more, I want to make a deck of cards, which will be, I think, maybe here. Let's actually create a deck from scratch. So, just going to go 0 and then 10. And try and work out, like, sort of reasonable cards. I kind of want to actually have a sort of standard fight against this claw wreck. Different strategy. Let's have one. Oh yeah. Let's go have. So I'm setting, a nice kind of simple-ish deck to just see if I can take on this guy. Guard recruit. So yeah, I'm giving myself really good cards. King Archer 3. Oh. Right. We're also going to use Grave Carvor. This is a card that I made early on that worked, but there's a chance that now that I've done other things, it might not work. Let's have a look. Armoured Protector, Armoured Enforcers. Okay. Right. So let's see if we can take him on. I reckon it'll be no problem. But we want to give it a shot. Right. Oh, nice start. Okay. So we can actually do this and this and do yeah to get me some extra mana. Let's have a Keen Archer now. Play the top 4 cards of your discard pile and vanquish them. Let's see if this works. Yeah, okay, that worked. I had this dream, this almost nightmare-esque scenario, where I was like, what if you have 2 Grave Carvors and you're trying to do one with the other? I simply don't know what would happen. It's like, it would create a paradox. It would, Anyway, right, so we're doing good so far. He's doing his 1 damage. Nice. Okay. Let's go create an Angry Chuck and get some attackers in the fray. Oh, this Angry Chuck is summoning 4 extra, so nice. Yep, and in turn he's going to do his 1. Bam. Yeah, like I said, I think we got this in the bag, boys. Let's create a few more guards. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That'll do. Wow. Boom. Oh, that's interesting. And I think I know what the problem is. So yeah, that's good. All right, I'm happy with that. A slight problem that we have, and I think that it's literally barely a problem at all, but I'd rather fix it. Let me check. Yep, that's it. So I've accidentally made the alpha 0. So let's just make that. So that's just the gore that's coming off. So let's just do it. Try again with the gore working. Okay. Right. So we want to actually Keen Archer's perfect for that. So let's just see if let's go create stuff as well. Yeah, nice. Cool. Two, we've got 3 mana. That's fine. Now, obviously this won't do anything because there's no cards in the discard pile. So we'll save that for another time. I'm going to go full on attack. Okay. Yeah. Right. And then, yeah. Right. Sweet. Yeah. Okay. All right. Absolutely fantastic. Right, now I'm probably going to call it here. Like, I thought I wanted to have a nice, light, easy, chill kind of stream, and it's exactly what I was after. I might do some more later. I'll see how I feel. Like, kind of, like I said, I didn't get an awful lot of sleep last night, and I'm feeling a little bit tired now. But we have actually done some really cool stuff. What I wanted to do, if I had time, was make some more attacks. Essentially, I've got this big list of ideas. In fact, let's have a little look. Rumpletown, monster moves. So I wanted to do. So at the moment, we've only got standard attack and basic attack. Oh no, back attack. Yeah, that's where it prioritises non-armoured. I quite like that. So these are all the different ideas, and I just like the idea that it's like, we can shred. You can like shred someone's armour, then you attack or something. Oh yeah, I've got so many cool ideas. But I don't quite have the energy to do it today. I'm sorry this is a bit of a short stream, but this has still been a lot of fun, and I'm glad that I've got back into it. I didn't realise it had been so long. Anyway, thank you so much for sticking around. This has been absolutely awesome, and like I said, I might do one later today, but I have promised that I'm going to have a bit of a computer game-a-thon a bit later with my brother, so I'll see how it goes. Alright, anyway, thank you very much for sticking around. This has been wicked. Alright, see you later.